Hello everyone, I am Path Kohli from the team Cyber Experts 101, and this is AI Fairness Auditor Pro, a platform that detects, explains, and fixes bias in AI datasets and machine learning models before they are deployed to real users. Today, I am going to walk you through three powerful new features we have added: fixed dataset, AI stress testing, and PDF audit report. So, moving on to the first feature, fixed dataset. Let's start with the fixed dataset feature. I believe this is the most impactful addition to the platform. Most bias detection tools stop at telling you bias exists. We don't, after running a pre-training audit, the user simply clicks the fixed dataset button and our system takes over completely. Here's exactly what happens under the hood. First, a Python backend runs a full diagnosis on the dataset metrics. It checks the statistical parity difference, DI, ratios, group distributions, and outcome rates per protected attribute. Based on this diagnosis, it identifies whether the bias is a distribution imbalance, an outcome rate disparity, or both. Then this is where Gemini AI comes in. We send a structure prompt to Gemini 2.0 Flash API containing all the computed metrics, the protected attributes, detected, the column names, and total rows. The prompt instructs Gemini to generate a custom Python function called fixed dataset that chooses the most appropriate repair algorithm for this on the specific data set, not a generic one size fits all solution. The algorithm Gemini generates uses outcome aware stratified oversampling, which this means is in simple terms, instead of blindly copying minority groups rows which would just copy the bias, we oversample minority groups while preserving their original outcome ratios. So, if 40% of women in the original dataset were hired, we make sure that new synthetic female rows also contain that 40% higher rate, preventing reverse bias. This generated code is then executed in a sandbox sub-process completely isolated for security. And the result is validated. If the bias score didn't actually improve, we reject the AI's fix and fall back to our own built-in repair algorithm. Finally, we show a full before versus after comparison using four chart.js graphs, bias score, group distribution, outcome rates, and SPD and DI values side by side. The user can download the fixed dataset as a CSV and retrain their model on clean, fair dataset. Now, the second feature is AI stress testing. This is used in both pre-training and post-training stages to check whether an AI system is becoming biased before or after predictions are made. In pre-training, we test the raw dataset before the model is trained. In post-training, we test the prediction dataset after the model has already produced decisions. Our system automatically detects the most important protected attribute like gender, age, race, or category based on groups. Then it creates counterfactual profiles. Counterfactual means we keep the entire profile the same and only change one sensitive attribute. For example, same qualification, same income, same experience, same education, but only the gender or group changes. Then a system uses a surrogate decision model based on the uploaded dataset and checks whether the decision flips if changing only the protected attribute changes. The result from approved to rejected that shows counterfactual bias. We measure this using key metrics like flip rate, sensitive profiles, bias score, risk level, and outcome spread. Finally, Gemini AI receives all these computed results through a structured prompt and generates a short, plain English explanation with the key finding, evidence, verdict, and recommendation. So, in simple terms, this feature stress tests fairness by asking one powerful question: would the decision stay the same if only the person's protected attribute is changed? That makes a platform useful not just for detecting bias but for proving exactly where and how the bias appears. Now, for the third feature, the reports are being stored in the database. So, the third feature is export as PDF. We then use Report Lab, a professional Python PDF generation library, to build the report entirely server side, no browser involved. Report Lab draws the bias score as a visual progress bar graph. Here we have downloaded it, exported as PDF. Now we will open the report. Report Lab Report Lab draws the bias score as a visual progress bar, renders all key metrics in a formatted table with coloring, coding, drawbars, charts, directly using Report Lab's own vertical bar chart engine. Format all alert explanations as colored warning boxes, red for high severity, yellow for medium, and then prints the full 9 section AI audit report with a final verdict of pass, conclusive, fail, or critical. The PDF is then sent directly to the user as a file download, professional shareable, and ready for compliance documentation. So, to summarize, AI Fairness Auditor Pro doesn't just tell you bias exists, it diagnoses it, fixes it algorithmically using a Gemini AI, tests your dataset and live models counterfactually, and generates a professional PDF compliance report all in one platform because every AI system that makes decisions about real people deserve a fairness check before deployment. Thank you.